you kidding me with that catch, JJ?
How you stand up? That's how you stand up.
And that's the ball game. Touchdown, Vikings.
Welcome into Vikings Weekly. I'm your host, Tatum Everett, here in London, where the Vikings are gearing up for their second of back-to-back international games. On this week's episode, we're taking you all over London as we get you ready for the Vikings and Browns at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday. Coming up in the show, Justin Jefferson opens up about what motivates him when he's playing here internationally. And we'll hear from head coach Kevin O'Connell and his mindset heading into the Browns game. We'll also have our two funny guys, Chad and Cy, back with their take on the current Vikings season so far. The team traveled from Dublin to London on Monday, and they made history last weekend when they played in the first NFL regular season game in Ireland. Dublin was an incredible backdrop. Take a look.
This is the first regular season game in the history of Ireland.
Not only was it the first time for several fans seeing an NFL game in person, it was also their first time seeing Justin Jefferson in action. He became third all-time in receiving yards in Sunday's game in Vikings history. And I got a chance to speak to him before we left on this trip to ask him what it means to play overseas.
When you see the fan base and you see the people excited to have an NFL game, in their country or in their city, it's always love. There's always so much energetic energy. Exactly. I mean, I'm juiced for it, and I'm excited to be, in Ireland for the first time.
What's it like when you look up and you see your jersey?
Pretty sick, because it's in a different country. They've probably never seen me play a down of football, but this is the chance that they can get to see me up close and personal.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you take that lightly.
Oh no, never. I always remember when Michael Jordan said that there's always a person that's seeing you play for the first time every single game. I kind of try to keep that on my mind.
That's cool.
Every single game that I try to perform and give everybody a show, because of course there's kids in that stadium that wants me to gritty for the first time, that wants me to have a nice catch.
It's caught for a touchdown. Jefferson. And he breaks out his first gritty in the 2025 season. Justin is popularizing the gritty in the Pacific Northwest. Jefferson finds the moneymaker, Justin Jefferson.
So it's always juices flowing, and I always try to give the fans what they came to see.
Justin Jefferson and the rest of the Vikings are trying to bounce back from that 24-21 defeat against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And just because we're here in London doesn't mean that we're taking a break from this week's edition of X's and O's. Head coach Kevin O'Connell sits down with voice of the Vikings Paul Allen at the team hotel to talk about this upcoming matchup.
I'm going to guess that, in fact, I'm going to say I know. I know these penalties are working on your last nerve, okay? And the crazy thing is the first 3 years under the O'Connell coaching staff leadership, you guys always were top 7, top 5 with like fewest penalties. So, it's just crazy through 4 games. How do you preach that out of them?
Well, I think, you can't allow any of the factors that might be contributing to those things be an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really, if somebody were to tell me, hey, I don't, you've had a couple centers in there, a couple quarterbacks, different cadences, I don't buy into any of that. I think we've got to find a way to execute at a higher level from a standpoint of the pre-snap. And we've had some of the critical offensive penalties that we've seen have been in the pre-snap variety, where they come on a 3rd and 6, then all of a sudden you're 3rd and 11. They come on a 3rd and 7, then all of a sudden you're 3rd and 12.
Mm-hmm.
It's a screen to Justin in the red zone, and you could be third and inside of 1. And instead your, a lineman not involved in the play downfield getting flagged for a penalty. So it's some things that we clearly have to coach better, and we've got to get back to our standard of pre and post snap execution. And then some of the things post snap wise, extracurricular wise on Sunday, defensively, where we knew it was going to be that kind of game, specifically with some of the players, on the grass for them offensively, and that's what it's on tape. You see it, and that's part of playing teams that are going to try to bait you into some things when it's that every yard kind of matters kind of game,
like Skoranek and Byron,
and we saw some of that, and I did not like the way we handled some of that. The officials are always going to catch the second guy before they catch the first guy, or vice versa. And we've got to just understand that that's what the 3.5 hours are going to be every Sunday in this league. That's the competition. That's the highest level of it. And sometimes some of those between the ears kind of warfare that goes on to try to elicit stealing some yards here and there, we can't let it happen.
You can find that full episode on Vikings.com or the Vikings app. You can also find the latest episode of The Tailgate there as well, or your favorite audio platform. In this week's episode, our funny guys Cy Amundsen and Chad Daniels get together to talk about this Vikings season so far.
I think the Browns defense is excellent. I really do. Packer game? Did they
blocked? Excellent, very fun. Packers had a field goal to win. They block it. They return it the other way. They go down. They kick a field goal at the gun. They win the game.
I know. I just wanted to hear it again. So I think that their defense is the real deal. They might have been taking a week off, and that's scary because when a defense that is that good gets hammered on, they go, hey, not again, and it could be like a bounce back week. You know what I'm saying? But
I'd like other teams to play poorly and win by just a couple of points, so they rest on their laurels. That's the place I like other teams to be.
But I think that if we get the right scheme, I think that they are beatable. They're proven to be beatable.
Yeah, I think so. And I wonder, that brings me back to my point, is when you're playing a defense that good and you have an O-line that is dealing with what it's dealing with, I think this is one of those games, like, even though the Browns might not have a great record, I think it's a pretty unique challenge.
Yeah.
And I think, I saw in some publication, the Vikings were ranked across the board the best coaching staff when you took all the coordinators and the head coach into consideration in the league. And I think that wasn't necessarily like universal, but a lot of people supported that. And then I think on ESPN last week, they were having the conversation, if you were having a coach's draft right now, like who would you take first? And Greeny was all in on KOC. So I think this is going to be one of those moments. If you can get this win, dealing with the things you're dealing with from an injury standpoint, against the thing that they bring in, which is a defense that could completely, no matter what you're capable of on both sides, they can control the game if their line is playing really well and our line is struggling due to injuries. So if you can, to your point, if you somehow scheme up a way to be really successful in this game, and then you can go home and you get into bye week, and you go in 3-2, now we get to play the fun game. We got a few matchups in a row where nobody thinks we're going to win. You go into that Eagles game, that Ravens game, that Lions game, I think a lot of people are going to – now you go steal a couple of those, you're right back on a really fun path. So unique challenge, but if the coaching staff can pull it off, this one would be whew.
Still to come on the show, we'll hear from the team in London on how they're feeling heading into this matchup and which player needs a travel buddy the most. Well, the players got your answer on that one, and it's quite hilarious. Stay tuned.
Touchdown, Vikings!
1, 2, 3,
Welcome back into Vikings Weekly. I'm your host, Tatum Everett, here in London, where the Vikings are a pristine 4-0 in games in England. And while we are only in week 5 of the 2025 regular season, there have been some amazing moments. In the latest episode of The Voyage, we take an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at everything leading up into this international trip.
All right, guys, good morning. So let's just talk about this very simply. Early on in the season, we've had one result where we've had to scratch and claw and play 60 minutes and find that result. We've had another one where we didn't do enough as a football team, no matter what happened in any one particular phase, any one particular performance. We didn't do enough. All right, there's a lot of noise out there about everything, but let me just tell you what this game boils down to. Trust and commitment. All right, trust and commitment. Ask yourself the question, at the very moment you walk off the practice field, what did I do today to prove to the guy next to me that I'm worthy of being trusted? Regardless of whether you're going to be stepping into a role, all right, whether you've played that role many, many times, let's see all 11 guys approach it the same way. You don't do it by hoping. You don't do it by just around all week long and then deciding on Sunday it's game day, I'm going to get in my game day fit and I'm going to turn it on. It just doesn't happen like that. You've done it before. Find a way, prepare in a way, trust and commit. All right, everything in your body and your mind, all right, with the adversity that you are either personally feeling, we are feeling as a group. It's just another Wednesday. Let's just get our op on Sunday. I promise you, all right, if you guys focus on the process with the kind of detail and the absolute conviction that is required in this moment, and I'm just talking about Wednesday, I'm just talking about today, all right, then we'll have a good Wednesday. We'll have a good Thursday. We'll have a good Friday. And then when you show up at noon, all right, we are gifted with another opportunity. And you know what this opportunity is on Sunday? It's growth. It's a growth opportunity. Nothing in life that ever meant anything is easy. So fight down, have some grit as a group, and let's figure it out together. Nobody is more confident to do it than me. I can promise you that. And if you feel like you are, all right, don't tell me, tell your teammates, and make sure they feel the same way. And let's just go to work. All the trust in the world, can't wait to watch you do it.
Carson Wentz, what a thrill this has to be for him. This was his childhood team.
The Minnesota Vikings 1-1 from the NFC North take on the undefeated Cincinnati Bengals from the AFC North.
Back, big dog. It's gonna be fun. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know, baby. Give everything you got today. Put a minute in the huddle right now. We all we got in this. We all we got. Let's get in the rhythm today. Let's start fast. Let's execute. Put everything you did in practice to the tape. Tape got to be hot today. It got to be hot. And we do not go back in that locker room without a dub.
First third down, Wentz back to pass, throws over the middle, caught. He's got his man, it's Oliver for the touchdown. The Minnesota Vikings straight down the field on the undefeated Bengals and take a 6-0 lead. And now they face a Jake Browning-led Cincinnati Bengals offense with a 7-0 lead.
People who have to prove themselves are cornerbacks 2, cornerbacks 3, cornerbacks 4. Like a lot of unproven guys. Isaiah Rodgers, who I know the defensive coaches love. I know Brian Flores loves him, but he hasn't played a lot of snaps as a starter in the NFL.
A defense without any interceptions yet, led the league last year. We got to get turnovers.
2nd and 9 from the Vikings 29, takes the snap, 4-man rush. Jake floats to the left, now he looks to run to the right, now he throws.
Picked off. Intercepted by Isaiah Rodgers.
Look out, he's fast. 30, 40, 50, and he's loose. Isaiah Rodgers is gone.
It's another day at the office for him, though. That's why he's so calm. Another day at the office. For the reason I can make plays like that. He make plays, man. That's why we got him here. That's why we brought him here, man. He make plays.
That entire episode of Voyage is located on Vikings.com or the Vikings app. And while being here for international games is so fun, there is no place like home and US Bank Stadium. And the last time we were at the bank, the Vikings pulled off a dominant win over the Bengals, and head coach Kevin O'Connell was wearing a mic the entire time. Watch Kevin O'Connell's genuine in-game reactions during that memorable contest.
Hey, man. Hey, just so you guys know today, I am mic'd up.
Oh, I see it.
I am mic'd up. I am going to consistently stay above the line and be a positive force that this whole stadium feels.
Yeah.
I don't know what you looked like in your little Renaissance Vikings uniform as a kid, but you look pretty damn good in this one.
It wasn't this good, I can promise you that.
It didn't fit this
That
well?
haircut, yeah, it looked good.
Of course, you got me.
3rd and 5 from the Cincy 12. First third down. Wentz back to pass. Throws over the middle. Caught. It is Josh Oliver. Touchdown. The Minnesota Vikings straight down the field on the undefeated Bengals and take a 6-0 lead, led by Carson Wentz.
That's all I needed was you back in the game. Let's go!
And what a drive coming out of the gate right there by the Vikings.
Jake floats to the left. Now he looks to run to the right. Now he throws, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Rodgers. Look out, he's 30, 40, 50. An 87-yard pick six.
Was that Harry that hit that? I think Harry got the piece of that. Welcome back, man.
I should have caught it.
And this pass defense is exceptional when you're in 2nd and long and 3rd down and long.
Here we go, let's get ready to do it again. These guys are gonna get us the ball right back and we're gonna go score.
2 minutes to go, first half. It's been dominated by Minnesota, but Bengals can make things interesting. As Fant lost the football. It's Rodgers again, off and running. Oh my goodness, he runs it back for a 2nd touchdown today.
This is one of the best plays you are going to see.
Hey, was that a punch out and the return?
I'm not here for it.
2nd and 5. It's Chase. Looks
That
down the
ball's
field.
out.
He lost
You
the
got it.
football. Recovered by Minnesota.
Guess who hit it out, Jim?
Was it Rodgers?
It was Rodgers.
Is that Jose again punching it out? Yes. Dude, this guy's unbelievable.
Have we ever seen 2 touchdowns by a defensive player and
another
3 forced turnovers?
Your 2-2 Minnesota Vikings now face the other NFL team from Ohio, the 1-3 Cleveland Browns. But don't let that record fool you. The players know that there's a challenge ahead here in London this weekend.
Yeah, I've played against Miles a couple times. He's a beast. He's as good as it gets on that side of the ball. So much respect for him, both as a player and as a person. So I think it'll be fun. Again, obviously we all got our work cut out for us. Very aware of where he's at. You know, I think we'd be lying if we didn't say that. And so it's something that you definitely respect and you're aware and you kind of think through those things. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm confident in our guys as well. And, you know, so I'm going to do my part in trying to help guys make plays and move around and do some different things. And so, yeah, I think we got a good game plan. And, you know, again, respect the heck out of him as a player. And we're going to be very aware of where he's at.
Newer quarterback, younger quarterback, so I'm pretty sure they're going to try to, get the run game going. If they're watching any of the film that we put on in the past couple weeks, teams had some success running the ball, so I see them probably running the ball and trying to make the game a little bit smaller. The game plan is smaller, to not cloud his mind as much, get the ball out quick, kind of like the same plans we've been seeing all season. So I know he's a pretty talented kid, so we're just expecting everything at this point.
They're definitely a really good team. They have great secondary. Of course, everybody knows about their D-line. So it's going to be a tough battle, just like the Steelers were. It's kind of a similar team if you look at the player sheet. But just going off of last week and seeing the different things that we put out there on tape, and good and bad, we just need to limit the bad and focus on ourselves and focus on those pre-snap penalties. And we feel like we'll be in a great spot.
Yeah, we won't know, I guess, until we get there. But, like I said, the Vikings fans, they always travel well. I mean, we saw quite a bit in Dublin, too. And, it's always fun to be able to play in front of our fans. And even if they're from here, you know, and they're wearing a Vikings jersey. It's fun to play in front of them, and you almost hear the Skull chant everywhere we go. So, you know, I'm just super excited to, you know, be here, play in front of a different group of fans for us, and you know, show out and play well for them.
When you kind of know that's a possibility to play an international game, you really appreciate that, because it does so much for this game. It's such a great opportunity for us. It breaks up the monotony of the season, and you really can take advantage of just you know, seeing a different culture and embracing it, and then also from the football side of things, are really just focusing on building a great team and building relationships, and it's kind of like a training camp away, right? You're kind of able to just be around each other and learn each other and go through some adversity together all in one place. It's pretty cool.
Ironically enough, this isn't the first time the Vikings have faced the Browns in London. Minnesota were the victors in 2017 at Twickenham Stadium. And all of this travel abroad has made the Vikings social team wonder who on the team needs a travel buddy the most. Well, who do you think?
Somebody to go everywhere with them so they don't get lost.
Oh, IP and Nudie. IP and Nudie for sure. Definitely.
Either way. IP.
Is that you? IP?
Zero IP.
I do.
Miles Price, guaranteed.
I ain't got nothing to do with me, bro. IP for sure.
Oh,
IP for sure. Like, hey, come on up here. Come on, man. Agent Zero.
Definitely Elijah Williams. Nudie.
Buddy system.
Nudie. I ain't even read the question. I ain't even read.
Easy.
The buddy system.
Easy. This one right here.
Nudie. Dang. All the DBs, Brian Murphy, all the haters.
What he said, me?
No, Nudie.
It's obviously Nudie. We all know that. And then that guy right there.
I don't know why everybody doing this to me, bro.
We hope you enjoyed this edition of Vikings Weekly Abroad. If you want to catch up on anything Vikings related here in London, be sure to check out Vikings.com or the Vikings app. We are gearing up for the major matchup between the Vikings and Browns at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday morning. Kickoff is set for 8:30 a.m. Thanks for watching this edition of Vikings Weekly, and cheers from London.